Here's my first real view of Erwin. That's where I'm staying tonight, zeroing tomorrow. And right down the bottom you can see a bridge. Basically right at that bridge is the hostel that I'm hoping to stay at. And the town's about 3 miles away. They got shuttles in. It's been mostly downhill today, 6 miles, because I did so many yesterday. It only a short day today, which I needed. Just the spirits aren't great. Heat yesterday, doing the 20 really hurt, but if I hadn't done the 20 I don't think I would have made it into Erwin today. The railway bridge on over the river, just around from Erwin. So Erwin's over here, around that side of it. But yeah, it's just nice, pleasant. Finally down. It's about 10:30, somewhere in there. I'm videoing, I can't see the time. So, Uncle Johnny's up there. The river, that's the bridge we're going to go over tomorrow, or sorry, the next day. And I'm hopefully staying at Uncle Johnny's. So that's where we're going to go tomorrow. Canoeing, our bikes. Good morning everyone. Day 36. Still at Uncle Johnny's hostel. Today it's going to be a nice day. It's cold already, but I've got to go and do laundry. They've got no laundry here, so got to get it done in town. So I'm taking the morning shuttle and then I'll probably spend all day in town. Not a lot of videoing yesterday, only did 7 miles, so I'll probably combine these two together. I'll show you some of Erwin today. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Foot's sore on top of the right foot. I skinned it somehow with the sandals, I think. So I've got to get band-aids. I'm out of band-aids, so I've got to put that on top of it. Bed wasn't great last night. It was sort of like sleeping in the shelter. It was on an angle. Not the best conditioned bed you've ever seen. But it was better than sleeping in a sleeping bag. Very cold this morning. I think it was down to freezing again. Not with rain though. It was because it was going to be such a nice day today. I think it's 18 today or something in Celsius. So it's 66 around there in Fahrenheit. So yeah, a relaxing day again. Let the body rebuild before starting out tomorrow. Currently in Erwin. They drop you off for the morning run at the Shell petrol station. You can have Macca's or Taco Bell's or Bojangles. So there's a few eating places, but I'm actually walking a couple of blocks to go and do laundry. I'm a little bit disappointed with the hostel, their laundry service not working. I understand that. They've got problems with their septic, but they don't offer extra shuttles to go and do your laundry. They say, you know, you had a choice. You could either do laundry or you can have showers and toilets. What did you want? And I said, oh, I understand that, but yes, laundry is very important because with the rain and the snow, my clothes reek, and I had to have laundry. So I'm a little bit disappointed they don't offer you just an extra shuttle or a drop-off point to go and do your laundry. I've got to walk there. And I think that's something they could have thought about with their service. Anyway, got a good night's sleep. Bed's on a little bit of a tilt. It's a bit broken and mangled. Still got these beautiful suburban side streets with two-storey houses. All the houses are two-storey with nice front verandas and things like that. Nice and peaceful. I'd love to see the driveway to that house. I reckon it'd be so steep. And don't think they'd be kicking the footy in the backyard. Morning viewers, day 36 on the Appalachian Trail. So the Appalachian Trail news for week 5 with Reboot and Wally. Today is 0 day in Erwin, and what do you do on 0 days? You sit in a laundry and wait for the laundry mat to do all your washing. Should be doing this at the hostel, but the hostel has sewage problems and they've said you can either have showers and toilet or you can do laundry. So they chose shower and toilets. Disappointing that they don't actually then give you a shuttle to a laundromat. They just said, well, bad luck. So I took the breakfast one in, had some breakfast at Bojangles, and then probably a mile, so 1.6 k's walk to here. I won't get the shuttle back, so I'm going to have to stay in town, have a look around, and then hopefully I'll catch the lunchtime shuttle at the pizza place at 2 o'clock, but that all depends. So I thought I'd take the time to do the news. So week 5, and what a week it was. Day 29 was the morning I woke up where my tent broke. The wind on max patch, outside the tent just seemed like a little breeze. Inside the tent it was blowing like a gale, and the stakes were in the ground that well that when one of the stakes gave way and the pole in the middle wanted to fly off and take the tent with it, and I was asleep, the rest of the tent didn't want to go with it. The stake wouldn't give, so the material did, or the thread that held the material did, and it ripped. So I was pretty happy it wasn't the actual side of the tent or anything like that. A couple of guys gave me some ideas around using dental floss and a needle. I happened to get into Hot Springs. The Airbnb that Dog Whisperer had allowed me to stay at had needle and that there, so we were able to do that. After that, the stay in Hot Springs was really nice. It was probably about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's about 25 Celsius, so it was really good. Sorry about that, just had some people. So day 30 was 0 at Hot Springs, where it was really warm. Stayed at Dog Whisperer's Airbnb. It's a real rustic place, nothing special about it, but it just had this real vibe of just relax near the river. It was great, swing seat on the front veranda. No, it was really nice. I'm glad I stayed there. Day 31, felt really good. Left the camp, did 20 miles. It was raining at 9 o'clock in the morning. I uploaded the last video in Hot Spring in front of the library, and then just absolutely belted down for about an hour. Then most of the day was just spitting, not too bad. Got to the 15-mile mark, which is where I'd planned to camp. Felt good, so I'll go the extra 5 because the camp was pretty close to the road and I didn't really want that. The extra 5 was all uphill, so that's 8 kilometres uphill, and it bucketed down. And I was so drenched when I got to the shelter. There was 3 of us in the shelter. First time I didn't even consider putting up the tent. I was too wet, and it was getting dark. I needed to get me food cooked, so I stayed in the shelter. That night it got freezing, so all the rain turned to snow. So day 32 got up, it was freezing cold. I heard mice, I think I even had mice run across my head. I'm with my beanie on. So it was either there that they got a hole in my pack or the next night. So I got up, started hiking. It snowed all day, sleet and rain and snow. So I got to the next shelter, which was only 8 miles, 13 kilometres. It was a real tough slog, so I said, that's it, I'm getting in, I've got to try and get warm. And then everyone sort of turned up. Like, it was only a shelter that holds 6. We had 8 in there in the end, squeezed in.
We had another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in tents. They had to put the tents up around this snow. But the shelters have all got 3 sides, not 4. I don't know why they don't put a 4th wall on it. And on this one, they faced it north, so when the cold winds come from the north, it blows all the snow into where you're camping. I was seriously worried about getting hypothermia that night. Everything was wet, I was wet. The sleeping bag was going white, it was getting that much snow on it. Talking to some other hikers later on, they felt the same way. They were looking at ways they could get off that mountain. 10 miles probably to say 16 kilometres was the nearest get out point. And I'm talking 4 hours to do that. So it was just a knuckle down and try and get out. Day 33, woke up, thick blanket of snow, probably 6 inches, and it looked overcast. Wasn't as bad as the day before, but it didn't look like it was going to be a sunny day. Started hiking, got up to Big Butt Mountain, and the sun came out, and it was just beautiful. Really, the trees are all white. It was about 6 inches to a foot of snow. Nice soft walking, and it was good. By lunchtime, it was hot. I put all my clothes out at the next shelter, hung them up for half an hour, pretty much all dry. The real wet ones from the day that I did 20 miles was still damp, but I just put them on the back of the pack and they heated up during the day. Day 34 now. I did 20 miles on that day. I did 16 the day before, and it was sheer willpower that got me the last 5 miles. So I thought I'd try and give you some indication of what I did on that day, and it was quite hot. I don't know if you can see that real well, but along here is the mountain range, and this is the distances. So I started just at the start of this map, and I went downhill for 4 kilometres. But up here it's got 3,000 feet, 5,000 feet, and 5,000 feet is like nearly 1,500 metres. I've climbed all this way up to here, like 2 hours of climbing, and then I still had this peak to go. That's a Big Bald Mountain where I videoed and I said, we've got 2 hours of climbing, I've still got that to do. What I'm trying to say, and then you go down and there's Little Bald Mountain, and there was another one here. But for instance, this last one, this is where I nearly collapsed at Spivey Gap at 5 PM. It's 15 miles, no one else was camping there though. That's 332.7, and at the top of this peak it's 334, so 1.3 miles, so 2 kilometres. That goes from 3,200 feet to 3,860, so basically 200 metres up. Now anyone that knows where I live at 360 metres. Traralgon South is at 100 metres. So in that 7 kilometres it goes up 260 metres. Now that, for anyone that's walked it or rode up it, it's quite steep. Now I did that 200 metres, nearly 260, 200 metres in 2 kilometres, not 7. So it's much more vertical with a 15 to 20 kilo pack on my back. It was willpower that got me up it, and the other thing was right next to a waterfall. So you had this beautiful sand next to you, it was cool. I was overheating because it was such a hot day. At one point a stream come in from the side, I took my shirt off, dunked it in the stream and put it back on, and that actually dropped my body temperature. And then it got me down, and then it was all downhill basically to just before the shelter. So that there, it was 8 kilometres. The 2 kilometres of uphill 200 metres. So I was just trying to give you some indication of what that was like. Now I stopped at Erwin and have a look at what I've got to do tomorrow when I restart. I start down here at 1,600 feet. Then I go up, 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 up to 5,180 feet. So that is 3,500 feet. That's about 1,000 metres or 1 kilometre up I've got to go from where I am. not looking forward to tomorrow. Alright. Day 35 was a Nero, so 6 k's into Erwin. I bought a room for 2 nights, private room. Basically, I look at the shelters as free hostels. Everyone sleeps together, snoring, someone gets up to go to the toilet, wakes everyone up, headlights go on, blah, blah, blah. So, hostels very similar, bunks right next to each other. So I didn't want, after doing 2 of them out in the bush, I didn't really want to do that when I got into town, so I got actually a private room. The bed's half collapsed. I got it at a little bit of a discount because they've redone the ceiling and they said water leaks in, but not where I'm sleeping, so that's okay. I've got a DVD player, Blu-ray player, or a DVD, something, but no TV. So I don't know what the point of it is. He said if someone dropped it and broke it. No laundry. If I had my time again, I'd probably have looked at staying elsewhere, especially with the no laundry. The free shuttles into town, because it is about 3 miles out of town, was probably the thing that swayed me. Alright, so today, I was going to go to the movies, but they only open at 7 p.m. And if I go to that, it'll be finished at 9 p.m. Then I've got to walk 5 kilometres back because there's no shuttle that late at night. So I'll decide what I'm doing there. I probably still might do it. Walking without a pack on a flat bit is a lot better than with a pack up a hill. Alright, budget, excuse me. So actually I'll do miles. So this week I did a massive week compared to what I've been doing. So weeks 2, 3 and 4 were all in the mid-60s. So week 5 I did 89 miles, which is 143 kilometres, which is 32 kilometres more than my previous best week. I had 1 0 in Hot Springs. I had 2 Neros. So Neros I class as if I do less than 10 miles, with less than 16 kilometres. So I had the one into Erwin, and I had the 4th one with the snow. So I had 2 of them, and I had 3 accommodation stays. So 2 in Hot Springs, and the first one of the 2 I'm having here at Erwin. The next one falls into next week. So total I've done 343 miles in 5 weeks, or 550 kilometres. So at work I'd like to recognise myself because that's one of my 7 500 kilometre targets. So I've achieved the first one. So average for the week was 20 kilometres per day, or 13 miles. And my overall average at the moment is 15 kilometres or 10 miles. Costs. So on trail or resupply costs this week, I spent $100 American or $133 Australian. And in town costs, I had in American $80 for restaurant foods. Remembering I stayed 3 times, so once in Erwin and twice in Hot Springs, so $80 not too bad for over 3 days. And hostel accommodations of $81.63 for those 3 days. Dog Whisperer did do me a very good price for the 2 nights I stayed with him, to reflect that I let him stay cheaply at my timeshare back in Pigeon Forward. So total was $162 American for in-town costs, or $216 Australian. So overall for the week in American was $262, or in Australian $349. That's an accumulative cost now for 5 weeks of $1,954 Australian, or $1476 American. Just the on-trail costs for 5 weeks so far adds up to $383.44 Australian out of the nearly 2,000. So you can see most of the costs are when you're in town, restaurant foods, and especially the hostel stays. I have had a lot more hostel stays than I expected, starting 2 days earlier, and also that timeshare was expensive, so you can take that out, it's a little bit less. Compared to my budget, after 5 weeks, I had $17.45 as my target, and I'm at $19.53, so I'm $208 over. And as I said, there was $200 for the timeshare, which wasn't originally in my budget. So I'm pretty square if you take that out. I'm still doing well with the on-trail costs, but overspending when I'm in the town. So I'll have to review that. Did look at doing whitewater rafting this week, but just didn't fall in place. It is a beautiful day today, so it might have been nice to do it, but I needed to relax and I needed to do this laundry. My socks reeked. I couldn't put them on again, no way. Alright, so anything else, Wally? No, next week is a hard week. I want to target week 6, another 85 miles or 135 kilometres, and I also have no 0 days planned in the next week. I do have a hostel stay midweek, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, yeah. But yeah, it's another 9 days until I get to my next 0, so that will be the longest stint without a 0. That's going to test me. And also got to go over 6,000 feet again. One of the highest shelter on the trail is in about 3 days time. So I'm hoping the weather holds out for that long. I don't want to be doing that in the snow. So I'm going to be checking the weather today to see how I go. There is a get off to a hostel early if I need to. And if it's going to snow, I think I'm going to take that option. I'm not going through another night like I had this week. Yeah, so I've got 4 days, then a resupply in town and staying at a hostel. Get up the next morning, get out, and then I'm back into the bush in an area where I know they've closed campsites for bears in the last couple of years. So another interesting period of time. And then the next town that I stop in for an overnight is Damascus, which is one of my major goals. It's getting close to a quarter of the way. Alright, thanks for watching and supporting. Sorry the videos have been getting a bit shorter. Some of them are for the cold. I even noticed episode day 32 I forgot to put in my little flyer at the start with the reboot. And I haven't been filming as much. It is a lot of the same sort of stuff, so I don't want to keep filming the same. It slows me up. If there's something completely different, I will put it in, or if I think there's something funny, but the trail isn't massively different from day to day for me to show you. So yeah, they have been getting a little bit shorter. Yeah, that's it. Alright, thank you. Cheers. Laundry's done, and just up the road was Pizza Hut, so we're just chilling in the old style eat-in Pizza Huts. Gotta love them. Across the road is KFC, and this all you could eat is $5. And another drive-through bank. Oh, I love them. Elm Avenue. Where's Elm come from? I know that somewhere. Don't know if this is a street I want to be near. Beautiful big houses here. This is a shuttle for lunch, so I'm walking back. I can't have a backpack at the movies, so I've got a backpack because I've got my clothes and everything, so I have to walk back, and then I'll decide if I'm going to walk out again and then back again at the end of the movie, which would be 18 kilometres in total. So not thinking I'll probably go to the movies, but there's so many 3-story houses. There's a memorial park in Erwin. It's something different, I think. Not something I usually see on the trail. So many nice houses here, and the one thing I really noticed is hardly any with fences between the properties. They just must share the areas, and they know where the borders are. Beautiful area. Nice trees. Beautiful houses and settings just keep on keeping on. Just followed that road all the way out from town, about 4 miles from the post office, so 6 k's. That's where the Appalachian Trail is for tomorrow. So I've just got to go across this bridge, and there's a building over there that's Uncle Johnny's. So it's a beautiful day today. Probably a good day to be hiking, really. Got me laundry done. I needed it. At least my socks didn't walk back on their own this time. The Nolachucky River. It's the one I would have been doing the whitewater rafting on. It's got class 3 and 4 rapids. And it continues down there. But yeah, just scheduling and everything didn't work out. Shuttle bus. This is the location where all the hikers just come in and sort of get their packs put down. The hostel has about 5 bunks, I think, and then there's a whole heap of private cabins. This is unwanted hiker stuff that other hikers might want. You can hire bikes. There's a heap of cabins, but I think they're nearly all booked out. And there's heaps of tenting going on. So that's J, I think there's 4 in that one. And you come around the back here, and this is the bathhouse. So there's a men's and a women's bathhouse, nice and rustic. The tenting area, which is like nearly full to capacity, and more up there. There is a hiker wedding tomorrow, so maybe they're all going to that. And then I've got this one here, H.